All right, today we are diving deep into one of the most powerful and honestly gut-wrenching moments from the epic Mahabharata. It's an incredible story about unimaginable loss, a burning desire for revenge, and then a single act of mercy that nobody saw coming.
And that really brings us to the core question here, doesn't it? It's a dilemma that pushes us to our absolute limits. I mean, think about it. When someone has done something truly unforgivable to you, when they've taken everything, is the only answer vengeance, or is there another way?
So, Section 1, Darkness After the War. Okay, to really get the gravity of what's about to happen, we have to go back to the very end of the massive Mahabharata war. The fighting has stopped, the battlefields are finally silent, but the air is just thick with grief. It's a haunting, heavy kind of quiet.
And look, the devastation here, it's almost impossible to comprehend. The Kaurava army wasn't just beaten, they were gone, annihilated. Out of a massive force, only 3 warriors are left standing next to their dying king, Duryodhana. Now, the Pandavas, they won, technically, but the cost was catastrophic.
So, Section 2, the flame of vengeance. You have this victory on one side, but on the other, you've got total and complete ruin. And it's in that ruin, in the heart of that dying king, that the last little embers of hatred are about to burst into a final, horrific flame.
Picture this. A dying king, Duryodhana, looks at his last remaining loyal warriors and says this. This wasn't just a lament. It was an admission of ultimate failure, of unbearable pain. And for his most loyal warrior, Ashwatthama, these words were like gasoline on a fire. It became a call for vengeance that he just could not ignore.
And just like that, Ashwatthama makes this horrifying vow. He waits for the cover of darkness, and he creeps into the victorious Pandava camp. But he's not there to fight soldiers. No, he's there to commit a crime that's just unthinkable. In the dead of night, he finds Draupadi's 5 sons sleeping, and he murders them all, thinking he was wiping out the Pandava bloodline forever.
Section 3, the moment of justice. You can only imagine. The news just completely shatters Draupadi. Her grief is total. But this story isn't just about the pain, it's about what happens next. It's about that moment when the killer is finally caught and justice is demanded.
While Arjuna, absolutely furious and true to his own word, hunts Ashwatthama down. He defeats him and drags him back to the camp. And he brings the killer and places him right in front of the one person who lost everything, the grieving mother, Draupadi. The power, the decision of what happens to this man, it's all in her hands now. So here we are. This is the moment everything hinges on. Draupadi is standing at a crossroads. Down one path is vengeance. It's easy, right? An eye for an eye. Satisfy that burning rage. But then there's this other path, the much harder one, mercy. The choice to feel empathy, to break the cycle of pain. Section 4, the victory of forgiveness. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen? Everyone, and I mean everyone, is expecting her to scream for his head. They're expecting tears, curses, a demand for death. But what happens next? Well, it's something that no one, not even the wisest person there, could have ever predicted.
Just listen to these words. In her absolute darkest hour, drowning in a pain that you and I can't even begin to imagine, Draupadi's first thought is of another mother, Ashwatthama's mother. She chose empathy over rage. And more than that, she stuck to her own moral code, remembering that Ashwatthama was the son of a revered teacher, a guru. This decision, it just sends absolute shockwaves through the camp. It was a total and complete victory of wisdom over that raw, primal emotion of grief and anger. Even Lord Krishna himself, the divine guide in all of this, praised her choice as the only real path to peace.
Now, it's super important to understand this. Mercy did not mean he just walked away scot-free. Not at all. His life was spared, yes, but his punishment was profound. The precious gem that gave him his power was literally ripped from his forehead, and he was cursed to wander the earth alone for all time, forever marked by his crime.
So, what can we actually take away from this incredible story? Let's unpack what's really going on here. Because Draupadi's actions are basically a masterclass in emotional intelligence and moral strength. They reveal these timeless principles for finding grace even in the deepest, darkest grief.
So let's break this down. First up, she maintained patience in sorrow. She didn't just lash out. Number 2, she didn't decide in anger. She refused to let that firestorm of rage make the choice for her.
3, and this is the big one, she understood others' pain. Her first thought was for another mother. 4, she prioritized wisdom over emotion. Her rational mind rose above the grief. 5, she upheld her morals, remembering his connection to her guru. 6, and this is huge, she showed us that we should embrace forgiveness as strength. Choosing mercy is an act of incredible power, not weakness. And finally, number 7, she considered the long-term impact. Her choice broke the cycle of revenge right then and there.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? In the ultimate test, Draupadi proved that the greatest power isn't about destroying your enemy, it's having the inner strength to show them mercy. It's this incredible victory of our highest self over our most basic, raw instincts.
So I'll leave you with this thought. Draupadi's single decision to break the cycle became one of the defining moments of her entire epic. So in our own lives, when we're faced with pain or betrayal, how might a similar choice, a moment of grace instead of vengeance, not just change our own story, but maybe shape our entire world?